Hey everyone, so in today's video we'll look at the Lights Out game, which is a React app, one of my all-time favorite games I developed, or like obviously again it's not my app. I found the game on the internet. I went like, oh, this is really cool, like I want to see how this works. I actually needed a lot of help with that. It was so frustrating to make it, but the result is super cool, and yeah, it really stretches the logic thinking, the logical thinking all the way to its limit. At least for me, like when I was learning it, when I was doing it, I was like, what the hell is this? But yeah, once you get through it, the feeling's amazing, and plus it's super addictive, and I suck at it, so at the game. So yeah, but it's really cool. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'll disappear and let's have a look at the app. Again, I've got my app already up and running. So in my VS Code, and I already hit the npm start, so we're already live. Because again, it's done with Create React App, which is a super cool tool. Absolutely love it. It saves you so much hassle. It's quite bulky. It's like 250 megabytes or something, but it's worth it because it's got the Babel and Webpack and everything's already there. You got the node modules, everything is in there. So yeah, it's super cool. Again, our app.js only does our board, and then we have two of our own components, which is the cell, which basically just does the logic for each cell, and then we have the board. Now let me actually show you what I'm talking about. And you know what, actually, I'm just going to run it again. So just npm start our server, wait for it to come alive. And there we go. So that's our local host. Cool. So basically at the beginning, it randomly shows you which ones, it chooses some cells to be turned on. So the goal is to turn off all of them, which like I'm super sucky at this game, so I'm not actually very good. But you can see that every time you click on any, well, it's like a clip. So right now, if, oh my God, if I say, get rid of this, and like it's always like the last one. So if I click here, the guys around and this one will turn on, and if I click again, all of them will go out. So it's always the immediate neighbors on X and Y axes that do that. So yeah, it's you could spend hours, unless you're like super good logical thinker, and then you'll probably do it much quicker. But yeah, it always takes me hours to get through it. So anyway, yeah, sorry guys. Let me get back to VS Code and show you what's what. So we have our cell component, which again just renders, does the click event, which means when we click, it flips itself and the cells around. It's like nothing complicated here. And then as a prop, it shows like easily as a ternary operator, it shows it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, basically the whole thing is just a table. And then we have our app. Oh no, then we have our board, which then does all the rest of the logic. So the board takes the cell components and basically just creates the whole game. So here we have our static default props, which is how big the grid's going to be, how big the board is. So start, and then chance like start on, it's just like 0.25. So there is, you don't want too many of them on, basically. So you can set it to whatever you want, really. And then you have this.setState, it's just like has1 is false, so obviously because you're just starting. And then board does this.createBoard. The create board basically takes nested arrays and creates just the rows and columns. That's it. So for each row you want to create a column, so all you have is a nested array. Now in a bigger app that actually scales or something, that's not very good because you have a quadratic big O. But for this, you will never scale it. It's always the same game. So this is not really a problem. The time complexity here is not something you would, you would need to worry about. So then again, I'm not going to go through how it actually like completely works. I'm not going to go into detail because I'd be here for ages, and here I'm just trying to show you how it works a little bit. So then flip cells around. Again, you want to take the cell that you have and then flip it, and then flip all the cells around it. So based on, and you have to take the dependencies in consideration. So if it's a cell that's on the border, you want to see what's going on. So that's it. And then if none of the cells is lit, then the set state changes to has 1, and then that's it. But yeah, so you have the make table, and then that just basically re-renders the whole board every single time you click anything. And that's about it. Like, again, it's not that complicated as in to develop or to write the code, but it is actually logic-wise you have to think hard, and yeah, it's a lot of frustration, especially if you're not super familiar with React and or like more like algorithms. It's yeah, it's not easy. But cool, but that's it. And again, the whole code is on GitHub, so you can download it. And if you'd like me to do a tutorial or anything like that, I can actually do that. But this would be a long one. Like that would be like at least an hour to just get through everything. So that's about it. And again, like in our app, the only thing we're doing is just taking in the board. Like I didn't change anything apart from taking out the original stuff that was there with Create React App and just swapped it for our component. That's it. So I'm just importing it. That's literally all I've done. Again, for production level, you'd want to change some things around, but maybe write some tests. But for this, again, this is just a little fun app. If you're bored or if you want to frustrate somebody, then you go in this game and you say, hey man, do it. Try to do it in like under 5 minutes or something and see the steam coming out of their ears. But that's about it. So thank you very much for watching. And again, if you like it, just browse the other projects. You might like something else as well. Download the code, play around with it. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.